guys, it's Jay. I want to apologize for my significant lack of videos lately. I just finished this school year and there's been finals and all kinds of parties and stuff going to. I've been getting a couple flare-ups of sickness and just blood. It's been a month. That's all I can say. It has been a month. But I figured, since I really don't have a lot of content to bring to the table right now, I might tell a personal-ish story. So, I mean, it's personal. It didn't exactly happen to me, but it happened to someone living in my house. So, there you go. So I wrote this down, so if it sounds really scripted, I'm sorry. Okay? Let's get into this. So this happened mid to early October of 2016, I think. I was in school at the time, so my grandmother, who lives with us, told me the story after it occurred. I heard a little bit from my father when I got home from school, but he didn't go into detail because he thought I wasn't allowed to hear it. You know, I was a young freshman with little to no self-control, my mind would wander, blah blah blah. So my grandmother basically made the house rules. Anyways, her and I were driving out to town to do some shopping when I asked her to tell me the whole story. It started with a phone call. Our home phones have a message reader that tells the contact of who's calling, and this particular phone call happened to be from someone under the name of Private Caller. And we get a couple of those here and there. We never answer, but lately I've been seeing a therapist for stress-related sleep problems and all that stuff, who also uses Private Caller as their caller ID. So, she answered, expecting a list of my next appointments. However, as you can probably expect because I'm telling the story now, it was not my therapist. "Hey, Grandma," the voice said. "It's Max." That's my cousin. His name isn't actually Max, but you know, confidentiality. My grandmother was appalled. "You don't sound like Max," she replied. "Don't you recognize your own grandson?" the caller asked, sounding hurt. My grandma said it definitely didn't sound like him, but at the time she thought he could be sick or something. You know, it was October. "You just sound different," she said, defeated. "So why aren't you in school?" My cousin and I are a year apart. He was a sophomore during my freshman year. He should have been in class at the time of calling, and our school has a strict policy on phone calls. None of that should go on while you're in the building. "I have a big problem," he said. "I stayed home from school today because I was sick, and I called my friend to take me to the drugstore to get some medicine. I really didn't want to bother my mom and dad about this." My grandma just listened. "While we were driving, we got stopped by the police, and it turned out my friend had drugs in the car. They made us both go to the police station, and well, I need $3,000 for a bond to release us." So my grandmother continued talking to him, and my cousin went on to ask for our credit card number, which is obviously a red flag. He insisted he needed money. My cousin should have known that we don't exactly give our credit cards to everyone in the family. We're not the most financially stable of people. My grandma said no, of course. Max kept prying. "How about Uncle Mark?" My dad. Again, not his real name. Grandma explained that no way did my dad have any money to give out. He's on disability and has no job, so, what money is there to give? "So you're just gonna let me sit in jail?" Max said. "No," my grandma replied. "I'm gonna call your parents and ask them instead." Whoever it was hung up. Not too scary, right? Well, the thing is, my grandma called my uncle and confirmed that Max was in school that day, and so was I. I even saw him in the hallway. We have a class together. My grandma was very smart in not believing this guy, especially when you're always hearing about how the elderly get swindled into things they don't understand. But we have some speculations on who the caller could have been. One of them is that it was my grandmother's nephew, Billy, who's a major drug addict. It kind of runs in the family. The other thought is that it's my mother's creepy boyfriend, who's been in and out of jail for being... well, I don't want to get into it. He gave me this doll once, and there was, blood or some kind of thing stuck on, the plastic paper surrounding it, and he was like, "This doll is worth, $30,000, so sell it when you get older." And you know, that thing... it's in the garage and it's not coming out, basically. Something strange, though. None of us have ever put any information online that would reveal who we are. My grandmother has never touched the computers in the house, and I'm not the kind of person to go spewing my personal information around. My dad and my little brother are both kind of mentally unable to do those things. My brother's tiny, and my dad, well... we live in a kind of small town, but it's really not small enough so that everyone knows each other. There's plenty of people passing through that no one will recognize. So how would someone have known this stuff? Probably would have to do some prying or something. It's hard to wrap my tiny mind around it. But... you know, just kind of a weird thing, I guess. Maybe not scary so much as it is odd. I really am proud of my grandmother for not actually believing the guy and giving him $3,000, because that would have been something. But yeah, so there's a little personal story for you guys. I'm gonna try to get some new videos out, preferably this week. I have a couple medical procedures going on during the week, but if I accidentally put up a video with me high on anesthesia, I'm so sorry in advance. But yes, I will try to get some kind of readings in. I have yet to put up that Memorial Day video I was planning, so get ready for some late holiday stories. And yeah, thanks for listening, and hopefully see you guys in the next one.